Yeah, just first of all, thank you all as the media for covering a great sport of ours and telling our stories. Really important. And credit to Washington. I thought they played really good basketball. I thought they made great adjustments in the second half. That was the first team that's out rebounded us all year long. I thought they out hustled us in some ways. So I really want to give credit to them and how they played. I thought they played closer to their identity than we did to ours. That being said, in the number one women's basketball conference in the country, you go on the road for your first time in Big Ten play, happy to get the win. I have a really versatile and deep team, and I think that really came to bear. That when one person maybe was struggling with something, we have lots of different ways we can go to things, and I think that these two were definitely our anchor tonight, but selflessness and versatility is the thing that actually carried us through.
First one for you, Coach. Just when you were scouting this team, what were the things that stuck out that you really needed to focus on?
Well, I mean, excuse me. A couple of things, but obviously we struggled with some of them was guarding the three-point line, forcing them to try to chase them off the line. And I thought we did well with that for a long time. They were 2 for 10 in the first half. I don't know what they were in the second, but had some mental lapses in that. But transition D, and actually that was probably the thing I thought we did the best of our keys to the game, is really trying to keep Sellers in front of us, take away long rim post runs. I thought, Kiki did a great job as the safety at directing how that needed to happen. And then it was rebounding. And we told our team, though, that's the one we did not execute. Credit to it was their 1 through 4s that were coming from long distances and really out hustling us for the ball and out competing us for rebounds. And so those were really some of our big keys from that perspective. And then we wanted to play from the inside out, which I thought we did pretty well. I thought Kiki got to the paint really well, especially early in the game, as well as Elena on our team. But we were able to go inside to Lauren, really consistently, and so that was really important to us.
Yeah, speaking of going inside to Lauren, felt like you were sort of unstoppable today, obviously led the game in scoring. Was there anything that frustrated you today? Or what can stop you, I guess, is my question.
My left hand. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think the first half, I think I was just trying to force some tough shots, and I think I just needed to make it easier for myself. And I thought my teammates did a really good job of just continuously trying to find me, no matter how many shots I'm making. I think that's just our offense flows a lot better, just trying to get paint touches. So shout out to them. But no, I think just trying to keep my head up going into that second half. So.
And then for both of you, obviously you are now the number one team in the country. When South Carolina was the number one team, we heard a lot that they felt like they had a target on their back. They say that the target's not on their back, but it is. Just wondering, do you feel any different? Do you feel an extra level of pressure, or are you just continuing to do what you've done the whole time?
Yeah, I think we're just continuing to do what we do, practice how we practice, prepare how we prepare, and I think that's where we'll really grow the most in the consistency in our preparation. We don't need to change anything that we do because of the ranking that we have next to our name. We just have to stay consistent in what we do.
I think the reality of having a target on your back, it's a fact. It's a fact that you're going to get more hyped, you're going to get better crowds on the road. That's a fact. The feeling of feeling any different, that's no different. The feeling is that's just a number. That's a number. We went up 5 numbers, and that's people's opinions. Show me a number 1 ranked practice. Show me a number 1 ranked rep. Show me how you prepare and your quest to get better week by week. Show me your selflessness and how you make a play for another teammate. That's what I want to see us be number 1 at. But the fact is that if you're a top team in the country, people are going to get up for you, and that's where you have to rely on your habits. And good, that's what you want. We always say pressure is a privilege, and you're built for it. You don't get up for it. Your emotions, we don't want to coach feelings. We don't want to coach emotions. We want to use them to our benefit to have energy and to have great habits, period.
Corey, you had talked about playing to your identity, and I was wondering what does that look like to you, and were there stretches in there that you saw in that game that you saw that more or less going on today?
Well, I definitely didn't see it in the third quarter, I'll tell you that. But our identity offensively is to play through the paint. We have great shooters, but it needs to happen after we've played through the paint or after they've taken away the paint. That's off the bounce, that's off the post up, that's on multiple people, and then it's rebounding. It's rebounding on both sides of the ball, but it's defense for us is like no threes, no war zone, or that area right around the 8-foot area right around the basket. We call it the war zone. And some people say no layups, no threes. For us, it's like you got to win that battle, and that's what I didn't think we won. And I just think you have to win the toughness battle. We always say usually the tougher, more together team wins, and I thought we were together for the most part today, but I didn't think we were the tougher team the whole time today, and I think that came across as too many mental errors. I thought they were quicker to loose balls. I thought it was one of our lowest passion play games, and so that's where we've got to own that. And it wasn't a physical thing. I told them if it was a physical thing, you wouldn't have held them scoreless of a field goal in the last 4 minutes of the game. It was a mental thing. We weren't consistently, absolutely locked into what we needed to do together, and that's what we have to be able to do is show that kind of toughness.
Then you get your first Big Ten conference game, and it's in Seattle against UW. Does that make it weirder? Does that make it feel more normal, or how's that?
It definitely makes it feel more normal for sure. I have so much respect for Tina Langley and the way she's building her program here, the way their kids compete. She's one of my most respected and closest friends in the business, and she's going to get this team to a really high level. And so I think I think it always means something when you have respect for your opponent, right? And and bottom line is you better go get every win, especially road wins in the Big Ten. I think there's 9 ranked, Big Ten women's basketball teams this week. And I mean, crazy how good our conference is. And so it's a balance for me as a coach, right? It needs to mean something because we beat a good team on the road. And on the same time, we always have to hold ourselves to the best version of ourselves and to those standards. And I didn't think we did that to the best of our ability tonight. So that's my job to help get us back to that.
Coach, a lot of the 3 quarters outside of the second were really tight in this one. What did you see in that second quarter that maybe helped your group separate from Washington?
Well, we got kills, we got stops. Every time we got a defensive stop, we were able to get out and run. Both teams want to get out and run in transition and attack in transition, and that was really evident. When we got stops, we got to play that way, and the shots are just so much easier, right? And so that was really the separating point. Is we got stops on a more consistent. That was our highest kill quarter, which is 3 stops in a row, right? And we started the third quarter that way. We started really well, but then we had mental lapses. We started with 2 straight kills, so we got 6 straight stops, and forced them to call a timeout. But we didn't sustain it, and that's what was the difference. But it really comes down to defense for us and rebounding the ball.
And then I'd love to hear from you and Kiki on this. What have you just seen from Lauren's impact on and off the court since she's joined your program? Obviously, big game tonight. You guys, dominate the paint, but just love to hear from the player perspective and the coach perspective of what she brings to you guys.
Yeah, I think first on the court, her impact is undeniable. Best forward in the country, and I think everyone, you can see obviously the offensive impact she has. She's unstoppable in the paint, but I also think on defense, that's where she really anchors our team down. Whether it's drives coming in, guards don't want to drive in on there, posts really struggle against her, and I think also in her ball screen defense, it helps us out a lot because Lauren gets out on the perimeter and guards really well. So for us guards, it makes it a lot easier. And then off the court as well. I think just Lauren's a great addition to this team, and I think it's been so fun over these 2 years to just see her, just get more used to UCLA and really just become a part of this team. So it's awesome to have her.
Yeah, I think, it starts with the leadership side. I think that's what I've seen the biggest growth in is Lauren's ability to use her voice, and she has an incredible basketball IQ. And in that way, she's sort of a point forward for us. We want to hear her voice out there. We want her to help us anticipate and not react. Her IQ is really, really high, and her leadership voice has been incredibly impactful for us. Everyone's going to talk about her. She's a top 3 scorer in the Big Ten. She's a great rebounder. But I agree completely with Kiki. She changes us on the defensive end. She allows us to play different ways. She allows other players to be better defenders because she's out there. And it allows us to switch screens differently, funnel players different ways. And it just changes how we can tactically play because we have the most elite rim protector in the country.
A couple from the Daily Bruin as well. Coach, last time out, accumulated 22 fouls against Hawaii. Today's game, only 12 fouls in the game. You consider that a step in the right direction?
I probably get myself in trouble, but we had better refs. Bottom line, we had I don't know any other way to say it, but I do think we played with more discipline without fouling. But we had some of the best refs in the country on the game tonight. Period.
Coming into this game, UCLA had an NCAA leading 19 rebounding margin of plus 19 per game. Tonight, Washington out-rebounded you by 2. What happened on the glass?
We got outcompeted. I mean, bottom line is a lot of times we had inside position and we just got outcompeted for the ball. And so that will be the focus of our week here is getting better on defensive rebounding and getting back to who we are that way. You cannot play with the efficiency we want to play with on offense if we don't control defensive rebounds, and we didn't do that tonight.
For Kiki and Lauren, first conference win of the season. What are your feelings going into Big Ten play now that you've got one conference game under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. I'm proud of our team for how we played tonight, but obviously there's a lot of work to be done. Like Coach Corey said, I think we just need to focus on rebounding. I thought that showed today that it's something that we could really work on in practice going forward. So just making sure that we keep our head down and just stay present every single day and just getting better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, now that we're in conference play, we know every single game is going to be a really tough game. So just preparing consistently throughout the week, and we'll be fine.
Coach, last one. With today's win, you have 296 career wins, tying Billy Moore for the most wins all time in program history. Can you just speak to, what that means to you?
It means I hired really great people to surround me. That's the only thing it means to me, is that not only assistant coaches, video team, managers, support staff, administration. That just means I had great people surrounding me. And the number one thing for me is this: none of this has to do with me. This has to do with creating a transformational experience for the young women in our program and honoring the people who so sacrificially serve them really well. So I'm thankful just because it allows me to say thank you to the people that have been so loyal and have blown wind into our sails.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you.